Thank you for joining me. You're watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the UK. Today I'm using this challenge from Facebook, from the Stampin' Up! Colour Challenge, to use the colours to come up with my card today. So we've got Blushing Bride, Mint Macaron, Calypso Coral and Basic Grey, and that's just taken from the photo to show you. I pre-cut some very vanilla and a matte layer of basic grey, and I'm using Falling Flowers with a matching die set, the Mayflowers, and this gorgeous Artisan Textures stamp set. I love this dahlia die, and I started to use Calypso Coral with it to be a focal point. I dipped into my box of sponges thinking, oh yes, I'll use sponging, my favourite thing, and I thought, what am I doing? I'm going to go ahead and use my Artisan Texture stamp and that nice sponge shaped one there. I go in a circular motion and just try and lay down more ink in the centre and just keep bringing back my flower so I know exactly where the colour is showing through. I grab another leaf die out of the set, and using Mint Macaron, I found the leaf was too solid and I just didn't like the look of it. So I used this other more detailed skeleton shaped leaf, which I thought suited the flower. Using the berries from the stamp set and Blushing Bride, added a bit more stamped detail onto each end. As you can see, I keep placing back my dies just to see where they're going to fit onto the card. I found it looked a little bit bare once I compiled it together, so I brought in that spongy stamp again and just went over where I did the berries, and that just helped give it some texture. I wanted to use another smaller splatter, but I realised when I stamped it I needed to trim the edge to make it work properly. Sometimes you need to just do that with the rubber stamps because it ends up inking the rubber part of the stamp that you don't want laid down when you're stamping. I thought the leaves needed some extra detail, so I grabbed my Versamark and brushed over the edges of the leaves and went in with the gold embossing. This just shows you the magic of heat embossing after the powder, and you heat it up, and I love the effect it gave. I thought the middle of the flower had something missing, so I grabbed the half-inch punch and cut out a circle. This is not the way to do it. I dipped it in the Versamark and then tried to put some powder on it, but it just was too fiddly. So next time I would definitely just ink up some Versamark with some embossing powder first and then punch it out later. It makes life a lot easier. And also, it's too fiddly, it got stuck to my piercing tool when I was trying to hold it down, and it created that little mark on it, but actually it worked out well for the centre of the flower, and I thought it looked like a nice little reflection. So sometimes these mistakes, work out for the best. I really like this stamp. I'm going in with the stamp and just inking up the edge to create this kind of grungy border, and going in with the basic grey, going all the way around the edge, and it just helped to just draw everything in and create that border around the edge. I wanted to put a sentiment on the card, so I'm using the tailored tag punch just to see how that looked. Then using the sentiment from Petal Palette, which is just the thank you. Glued it together using my trusty Tombow. It's a great liquid glue, it helps to move things around. Here I'm just giving a bit of movement to the flower, just creasing it a little bit, dotting on the Tombow. There's different ways of being able to glue this down. I just thought for ease I was just going to put a few dots on And then I just bent the ends of the leaf where the gold bit was to add extra dimension and detail. Grab the mini dimensionals to stick the centre in the flower. More dimensionals on the sentiment as well. Just helps a couple of aspects to lift off. And there we have it. Thank you so much for watching. You've been watching Esther from Stampin' Star Creations. Do subscribe to my channel for further videos. Give me a thumbs up if you've liked this and do comment below.